a very warm welcome to this very special interaction that I have on sports today. In my hand is a treasure trove. It's a treasure trove that many people would kill in order to get. Because it's written 40 iconic moments in Indian sport. And the authors who have done this are right here with me. Who doesn't know Vijay Lokapally sir, who has been in journalism for 50 plus years? If you look at the tribute that we are given also, he knows Sachin Tendulkar. By the way, the foreword is written by Sachin Tendulkar for this book. And I'm joined by even Akshay Lokapally here, and it gives me great pleasure, gentlemen, to welcome you on the special interaction that we have on sports today.
Thank you, Siddharth, for this wonderful intro.
Thank you, Siddharth. It's a big platform for us to talk about a book.
I mean, this book, let me tell you, there are very few moments that chronicle Indian sports. We see all the Western nations chronicle sports in that sense. But Vijay sir and Akshay, what gave you that idea that yes, we have to chronicle in 77 years of India's independence? What made you what made you think about this idea that you have to chronicle India's iconic sporting moments? What was at one point?
So I think the idea, from what I understand, was between my father and the publishers. But I think it was a great opportunity for me, as maybe you could call a youngster, and to give out the message that there are so many of these moments that we don't know about. And yes, there are videos out there, there are matches out there, but the question was how many of us really go out and relive those memories in the form of videos or whatever. But being writers, I thought maybe this is a great opportunity to make the readers relive those moments through our writing.
And Akshay, how intimidating was it that dad has probably witnessed about 50 years of all of this? Because when you look at it, Vijay sir, you have witnessed so many of these iconic moments firsthand. How was it to just chronicle all of that? And did you go back to your memory lane as to, yes, in 1975, this happened, 82, 86? Because for all of us growing up, when you look at it, if we got an introduction into other sports and the knowledge that it imbibed, it was all thanks to Vijay sir that was there. So, how was it to relive that memory and getting this out for you?
Well, it was very exciting. Definitely compelling also, for the simple reason that I was involving my son and different perspective. He had a different reading of an event. I had a very different reading of an event. So he's from the modern era, and he probably understood the finer points better because he had access to videos and writings, and some of them my own writing he referred to. But it helped because we had done a book earlier, yes, Netflix, on badminton, which is again a very path-breaking book because of the storytelling. There again, he had a major contribution. But for me, the most exciting part was collaborating with my son, who had helped me earlier write features. He would do the research, and so I can tell you one story went in my name but written by him.
But that is okay, right, Akshay? If it goes in dad's name, but you've written, it's still a badge of honor, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But see, authors, when we know, they have their own mind, okay? I'm sure what were the conflicts, the contradictions that you and dad encountered when trying to compile these 40 moments? Was there any moment, no, dad, I want this? He was like, no, this moment should come. How many of those things did you find out that, yes, we can have a middle ground of it?
Definitely. There's no doubt that there weren't conflicts. But I think we were able to, after every argument, you could call it, or maybe even discussions, maybe sometimes they would start as arguments and then move into discussions, good discussions about why should a movement be there. And also at every point of time, we were in touch with the publishers as to what movements we need to include in the book. And also I think with regards to our discussions, they were mostly about, once we had finalized the movement, it was more about what should go into the movement. What kind of information we need to give, what information is needed, or it might feel just we should not make it too informational as well. It has to be, as I think Dad mentioned, it needs to be storytelling. That we had to highlight. So I think a lot of conversations around that happened.
Right. Now I'll come to the crux of the book, Vijay sir and Akshay. I mean,
Let me add one thing before
yeah.
you go. Definitely one chapter which he insisted and he worked on it. It was a lot of hard work, and I had no clue about that sport was Narayan Karthikeyan.
F1, right. In 2005, if I'm not mistaken, that iconic moment when he got the podium.
The podium,
okay.
yes.
And that is where, sir, I would like to get you in, okay? You have seen a sea change when you have to look at Indian sports when it comes to communication, when you look at this. You lived the era of the typewriter, mail, then STD, ISD, then internet, modem internet, now phone internet, social media. In this era, and this is specifically to target the Gen Z audience in particular and the millennials, why is a book so important rather than all the reels? And because we all know that the millennials and the Gen Z have a very few attention span, but why is a book so important even now?
Siddharth, as Akshay mentioned, it is no doubt we have relived those moments. So it is all in a book form as a ready reckoner. You can have it as a ready reckoner. Otherwise, you'll have to go and search on the net, and how much of it would be authentic is again, one can argue. But for me, the importance of the book is that you can, every library should have it for the young readers and sports lovers, where they can just see, if you just pick up the book, there is so much of information, and also we have taken care of writing simple.
Yep.
We could have made it very difficult for the reader also to understand, but we made it very simple. And like you have said in the beginning, getting a forward from Sachin was a very, I think he has never done any forward for anyone. He has given a quote here and there,
Right.
but forward never. So I think it's his gift to Akshay actually, because they have met in the past also. So I have a feeling that I think it is an important book, which is like I said, it has shelf value.
Correct.
Even after 50 years, you can read this and refer to it. And let me assure you, the information gathered is authentic.
And authentic it has to be, because if Vijay sir has overseen it, obviously, because you've seen so many instances. I mean, if you just go through the contents of the book also, it will give you goosebumps. I mean, starting from India's iconic 1948 Olympic triumph in hockey, followed by the 1962 Asian Games triumph, the World Cup hockey triumph. Then you have Milkha Singh, you have World Cup victory 1983, which truly put us on the map. You have all from Mary Kom to Anju Bobby George. No sport has been left out. And this is where this book stands out in greatness. But Vijay sir and Akshay, this question that I would ask, this generation currently is obsessed with medals. Okay? Even if we get a bronze medal, we say, "Arey yaar, is this the bronze age? Why can't we get gold? Why can't we get any other medal?" There are two anecdotes in this, as true sports journalists will understand. Milkha Singh and PT Usha. You have included Milkha and PT Usha for their glorious fourth place finishes. Los Angeles and Rome. But then they didn't win a medal. So, how do you want to dispel the thing that this is an iconic moment despite not getting a medal?
See, if you go back and you put yourself in the year 1960 and Milkha finishing fourth, you will understand the importance. Going to Los Angeles, Usha was considered a sure shot, and they both missed a medal. So for me, it was a fraction of a second, the difference.
100,000.
Yeah. So for me, finishing fourth was as good as winning a medal, because I come from that generation where we were not doing so well in Olympics except for hockey. Only hockey writers were able to would travel to Olympics, because they were sure that hockey will win a medal. Otherwise, we hardly sent any reporters, Siddharth.
Yeah.
So I think these two moments, they do capture the times of 1960 and the field which Milkha Singh was running with, competing with, and also PT Usha. She carried the hopes of a nation. And if you remember, 2 years later, she did so well at the Asian Games.
1986 Seoul.
Yeah, 4 medals. So these are two great icons. They did so much for their respective sport. Especially, I would say, Milkha Singh, sadly not with us anymore, and Usha. I mean, who would want to watch an Indian athlete, a woman athlete running in in athletics at an Olympics? But Usha came very, very close, and till today, I think I count her as one of my very dear, not friend, because I wouldn't call her friend, but we get along so well. And Milkha Singh, meeting him so many times in the past was, I think it was a great privilege.
Yes, Milkha, indeed, legendary as a stage host. But then Dad mentioned something about women power, Akshay, and that is also the most common theme that we have, because this book also stands out for the fact that you have also highlighted the success of so many women athletes as well. Not just Usha, even the Fogart sisters also. You also look at Anju Bobby George. I mean, before Neeraj put you on the map, the first medal that we got in athletics was in 2003 Paris with Anju. That historic win. And you also included Harmanpreet Kaur, 171. I mean, who would have thought 8 years later we would break that glass ceiling in November 2, 2025. So, how understated is the role of women athletes, Akshay, when you have to look at because I don't think any book highlights the importance of women athletes and their contribution in the iconic moments in sports in India.
Absolutely. Maybe two examples that I can think of, the two chapters that I have covered and written about. One is Mary Kom. One critical aspect that we have highlighted is that during her motherhood, she stopped her practice, and then she came back a year or two later. I think that resilience is something that we were also talking about between us. The resilience of women and even mothers. I think because we were talking about the same thing, that I have seen my mother having gone through so many hardships, and I think that those hardships and that resilience is what I think is very critical, and that made me cover their research about their movements and bring it out. And also, I think one other movement that I can talk about is other sport that I can talk about is badminton. I think badminton was a sport that was, I'm not sure if this would be right, but I think it was forgotten for a little while, maybe. And I think it's Saina Nehwal and then PV Sindhu who brought it to the fore again. And therefore, it's critical that their role is to be understood by the present generation. That there are so many of these female athletes who are the backbone of those sports that they play.
Exactly. So, if I have to ask, I mean, I know that Vijay sir has been part of so many iconic. About sir, 30 of the 40 moments you would have seen live in your thing.
Yeah.
While revisiting and going through that book, what was that one moment in this entire episode that said, I relived that glorious moment all over again? What is that one iconic moment in this book for you when you're going through it?
For me,
Yes.
as we were talking before the show, the '83 World Cup, because cricket was big. It changed the face of the game in India. It gave us the hope that we were a laughing stock in one-day cricket. Remember, first two World Cups we won only one game, that too against East Africa. So this was the moment, and a big boost, and nobody gave this Indian team in '83 any chance. And from where to where? I mean, they beat West Indies twice in the tournament. So it was, to me, the moment, and I'm very proud to say that over a period of time, I've come to be friends with each member of the 1983 team. I mean, I have a lot of love and respect for them, and they're very simple people even today. If you look at them, you met them, so many of them.
Yes.
But to me, that is the moment.
What about you, Akshay? When you are reliving either through dad's eyes or anything, which was that moment which made you feel, wow, it's a goosebumps moment when you're writing the book?
I think for me, definitely the cricket moments, a good number of them I have watched those moments. But at the same time, I think for research, I could use YouTube as a platform to watch those matches again. A few of them would be from badminton, Thomas Cup 2022, which we have
Epic. Yeah.
covered in the book. Even PV Sindhu's matches, again Saina Nehwal's matches. I think those are, because they are available, it's easy to watch them and get immersed in those moments. Yes, the other way of doing it is when you're researching, when you're reading the articles written back then, even that also makes you understand the viewpoint of the journalist or the writer who has covered, and that makes you again relive those great moments.
Final question to both of you. I mean, see, we are now, I don't know whether we want to call it a unfortunate plague of our times, but we are a real obsessed nation. We have been immersed in technology in such a way that our attention spans are going down. Our understanding of sports is now rather constrained to only icon figures. If icons aren't there, then who cares about the sport? But then, through this book, what is the message that you want to give to all Indians, considering now that you're going to enter 3 very important years which could be epochal for Indian sports? 26, you have the Asian Games, you have the Hockey World Cup, you have the Commonwealth Games. 27, you have the ODI World Cup. 28, you're building up to the Los Angeles Olympics as well. What is the message that you want to give to sports fans? Because I think we are a nation of stars. When we look at stars, but we don't follow the sport. Right. Through this book, what do you want to tell this generation in particular?
For me, I think the message would be that maybe particularly about reading. I think reading is something that it feels like it is becoming an obsolete thing. And because even the amount of text that is consumed is going down. Right. The fact that Instagram is more popular than Facebook, because Facebook used to have more textual stuff, posts, what you call. And that is why images and videos are becoming more popular, which is understandable. Even we consume those. But at the same time, I think there's something about consuming text. Just maybe 500 words, 1,000 words. For me, I think it's a mental boost sort of thing to read something every day or every few days, let's say. So I think that would be a message. The book is just a form of making people do that. Because sports fans, yes, they can definitely open the book and there will be so many moments. But even non-sports fans, for them, there are stories. It's in the form of stories that they can cherish and enjoy.
What about you, Vijay sir?
For me, Siddharth, when I've not written it, when I hold the book, I'm respecting these 40 champions.
Yeah.
The title says, we are the champions, and we are. I mean, we have to respect them, we have to love them. And one way of doing it is, not because we have written it, getting this book home and keeping it very proudly. Yes. So that young people who visit your house, they can read, you can read. And the fact is that it's a lot of hard work. So when you read it, you will realize, Siddharth, that we have done a lot of hard work in this, almost 3 years of work.
3 years.
Yeah. So it is, I'm proud of it. I have written other books, but I'm very proud of this particular book. The earlier one, Netflix, which we had co-authored, came out in February. That again has done well. It is again storytelling, capturing, writing about little known stars. For us, they are stars. They are stars. Every character in this book, whether he won the title, she won the title, no, they are stars. So this book is respect to these champions.
Respect to these champions indeed. And because of that, look, already when I saw the contents and what are the events that Sir and Akshay have chronicled, it's truly remarkable in more ways. And I, as a sports journalist also, that's why I introduced this as the Bible. I will come to know certain words because Vijay sir, as I have known him for decades now, he has covered so many of these events firsthand. And there is an interesting thing. I mean, before I end this, Vijay sir always used to tell me, I had just stepped out of journalism for a couple of months because I was not happy with where I was. And I came back to the field. I came to the boxing tournament. The Boxing World Cup was happening in Delhi. And Vijay sir very kindly admonished me saying that, if you leave this field again, see what I will do to you. And this book is once again a reaffirmation that why I love this job a lot. And that is why I'm grateful to firstly share the screen with Vijay sir, and also that I've got this treasure trove with me now. And sir, I'm taking it. I'm not going to ask you. I'm just directly taking it.
Of
after
course,
this.
of course. That's why we have brought it. Don't worry.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we'll sign it.
that is it, folks. Do enjoy the book. We Are the Champions: 40 iconic moments of Indian sport, right from 1948 all the way until our glorious exploits in Paris as well. And trust me, there are anecdotes which Vijay sir himself has contributed to. You do not want to miss it. So do like the book, and thank you so much, Vijay sir and Akshay, for joining us on the special interaction.
Siddharth, you're more than kind.
No, sir. I mean, just the book, the contents, enough said at this point. So thank you so much, folks. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well.